pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for taking me right.
We're gonna skip the election of officer. Because Amy was supposed to be here and then she had a meeting that she's got to run off to, but she's not here, so what do you want me to do? Amy has to go to another meeting in Plymouth, so the two of them were gonna do the contract real quick
First,
so that she could take off and go to.
but she's not here, so.
I'm gonna skip the election of officers. What's that got to do with her? Is
No,
that,
I was just gonna let Amy
Go
and Tammy
first.
do their thing real quick and then we do the election of the.
oh, I see.
But she's not here, so.
Do you want to text her and ask, wait a minute.
Someone's coming.
No.
It's Bob.
No. She knows me. No, we're not.
Okay. Okay, all right, then we'll go ahead and do the election of officers. And so first step is for president. Do we have any nominations for that?
Nominations for what?
President,
I'd nominate Kim Landis.
I second that motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, for vice president,
Right.
what?
Did everybody say?
Yep,
Was
Yeah.
it unanimous?
yep,
Okay.
Okay,
the ayes have it.
okay,
All right.
okay. For vice president nomination,
I second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Did he accept it?
Is that okay with you?
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. And the secretary, I'm presuming that Jesse will go ahead and do that for us. Thank you, I appreciate it. I was reading up on that and we can have an outsider do it. She does an excellent job. So,
Oh,
okay.
here
We should
comes
probably
Amy.
vote on that,
Here comes Amy.
just to
Okay.
make sure.
Okay, for, secretary, you guys.
I propose we have Jessica do it again this year, providing you're capable and able. All right,
I second.
Okay,
that way it's official. I just wanted to
I
make it.
appreciate that. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna, we'll do the minutes. Is there any corrections on the minutes from last month?
I think so, I didn't see any.
Do you mention somebody?
I'll make a motion, accept the minutes as presented.
Second it.
January
All in
or
favor?
December.
I'm sorry, Mitch, didn't mean to cut you. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and,
Where you going real quick, Kim? I was
Yes.
supposed to have had an oath to give you for a new term. But so if I do it next month, I won't be here that meeting.
Yeah.
As a new
I didn't
term as a
realize.
board member,
Right.
but we'll get you
Didn't
next
realize
time.
that you had expired.
I was gonna ask about
Resume.
that. They're here, correct, and
We don't-
all staggered.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, we don't have,
no, we were, I don't know where we're
Well,
at.
they were because you
actually.
guys.
we got two and then one and one.
We'll have to talk about that.
Anyway, She'll do it next month.
Go ahead.
So.
Does she have to put a robe on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do
Is
you,
that really loud?
I'm in my gal.
Really loud, I'm hearing.
it's
No,
supposed
they're
to, it's
working on
supposed to
that.
be toned
Okay.
down.
Sorry about that.
People in the back were saying they couldn't hear,
Okay.
so it got backed up and then.
All right.
Too loud.
Perfect. So, Amy and I, Amy Rowe and I, who is here now, had a virtual meeting last week with V3. Last month, we discussed the, consultation contract, that they had presented. And they made the requested change, removing item number 2, limiting it to the, basically the training and explanation of the IC codes that are applicable to the park board. And you guys are, I think we all voted and approved on that last month, the $6,000 cost for that. So basically we met with them and after the conversation, I think that's going to be great. Basically, just so that you guys do understand what it is, what they will do will give us a clear understanding of what the Indiana codes require of us. Those codes aren't suggestions, they're required. And so what authority we actually have and where we have flexibility to set our own departmental policies. It will reduce legal risks. It will strengthen our decision-making, ensure we're operating in full compliance. And then I'll take those statutes and write out the word specific and departmental specific applications of those statutes. So I guess that's all that changed, I believe, in the contract, which I sent over to, I don't know if you guys got to look at it, but to my knowledge, that's the only thing that was changed or that was requested to be changed. So I guess if you have, does anyone have any questions about that? Otherwise, I think we're good to go with it.
Tammy, do you have anything?
No, Tammy did a great job. It was very helpful. Both Chuck and Sarah were there. Chuck is the person who I believe is going to do most of the training with his multiple years of experience in park board. And then Sarah, I think, is the logistical girl. So I think she does a lot of the contracts and logistics side of things. I think they both, Tammy did a great job of helping to give some extra context. She has some other things I think that that she's going to get from you guys to be able to set up the next step. But I believe that after that conversation that we had, that they fully understand it. I think Chuck is very excited to be able to come and assist to help get this, and grateful that Tammy then can work with the board and everybody else here to execute all that's learned. So.
And I will just point out it's hopefully going to mean it won't be any work for anyone else, basically. That's why I'm doing it. Now I might look for some information, to be provided from someone. But it's basically just the application of these statutes and how it will apply to our board.
I think the next step was to determine who
will attend,
who should be the required attendees, as well as then who would be the individuals that would be extra, just so that they could prepare their documents themselves. And I think that's what they were waiting for. Because from what I understood at the last meeting, you were going to just sign it. And then I told Tammy she can take it from here because she's loves this stuff and she's really good at it. So.
Okay, so. Trent.
I would like Gary Hartwig to be involved in that.
Okay.
Okay, and then,
Dealing so much with the capital expenditure of the plan and so.
how do we do that? Is it gonna be a park board meeting? I mean, how do we off for?
It'll be a half day.
Yeah, I think
what
it'd
is
be
proposed.
just an educational type
So
thing. There's no,
educational, so we're okay with it.
I think that Becca McCraig actually spoke into that and said that if it's educational of the board, then it does not
Right.
need to
Okay,
apply.
okay.
Yeah, I think we got, because I remember you had asked her about that, and I think she had given her, from her attorney perspective, her ruling as to what would be.
The trainings weren't a
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay.
So Gary should be added to that list then. If you guys think of anything else, just email me, but I'll send out an official request for that information.
That you might want to be a part of that as well. Did you want to be a part of that?
It just depends on the date,
Okay,
time.
because that was the only beside the park board. I wondered if you had wanted to be a part of that, so.
I suppose anyone, if things go the way I'm hoping, anyone who cannot attend, there will still be documentation that they can review.
and I asked if, for whatever reason, Gary's got a full plate He was gonna be here tonight. His wife's in the hospital,
Wow.
with possibly some serious issues. But anyway, if for whatever reason he can't attend that, it'd be nice to have him review the documentation before you guys approve it.
Okay.
Sure.
Do we have any specific day? I mean, when's he looking at or anything?
They were not able to answer that, if I remember correctly, until we got them our information.
They had said, because we had indicated that when Kim and I had spoken, that the request would be that it was done in the first quarter of the year, preferably towards the they were thinking February, because January because we had taken a hot second, they'd already scheduled some things for their schedule for January. So we said, if you could open up, if we get you the information fast enough, could you potentially open up for this to be done in the latter part of February or the beginning part of March, before like the, golf and pool and all that other stuff. And they felt that that would be, as long as Tammy could get the information that they asked for, that they would be able to make that accommodation.
I'm hoping, I can
Get that to them this
speak.
wanted to have our meeting first, this meeting.
And then the other part of that too was that Tammy had said to them, which I think you may have already said this, but just in case we forgot, was that, and they were very grateful that Tammy has the skill sets from all of the ISO certification and previous policy writing that she had done, to be able to take the information that was received and assist in writing some of those things up as policy and procedure.
Right. Yeah.
The will of the board is that would be the case. They felt that would be really a good next step, relieving them of that duty that they don't really have the time, but would have done it if it was necessary. Yeah, or if we paid for it, but they said that it makes it a little bit easier for them with the schedule that's a little bit full to do the training, which they're very well versed on, and then allow Tammy to work with you guys to get the rest of it done. So.
Oh, sure.
Being able to write it out and save us that extra
Absolutely.
5,000.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It makes me feel important.
Important. You can be told that.
Okay.
Perfect timing for her to be on.
So, do you have any questions?
Any questions? We can move on. Yep, I'll get that out as soon as we get it.
Okay, so we already voted on this, correct? Did we do that?
Yeah, last month.
Yeah, you guys voted. You need to,
Need to sign
Yep.
it? Okay.
I had one other thing that came up I wanted to briefly mention. I do have to go over, I always have to come here and then go back to work. Stephen Williams is here today, and he'll be sharing what he's going to be sharing in public comments. But he has approached the sidewalk committee with a really great project that he would like to discuss, and he'll discuss it with you later. But I want to just let you know that he has talked to us and no decisions have been made. It was just something that he came up with for a really good project that would impact multiple departments of the city. And so he started with the park board, with the sidewalk board. He's coming to the park board to talk about the project, and then we'll need to go to the next. So he is here today to talk about that.
And the public.
That's Stephen Williams, yes. So I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it or not, but he is here, and he told me earlier that he is coming, so that's my fault.
Okay.
But it's very exciting and could be really helpful. The sidewalk board, like I said, had not made any recommendation except for that he come to the park board to share his thought process and the research that he's done, just as a point of reference. So
Okay.
no
Did
official
you say his name was?
Stephen Williams.
No relation.
Not with you, but with someone else.
Is this your son? So at some point towards the end, he is here, and so to share that whenever you.
Thank you.
Oh, do you need anything else from me?
Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Tammy. And Tammy is a good one. I think we're in the right place at the right time.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
So I'm going to run to Leesburg.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I accidentally done Brett and I met Gary, but he's not gonna be here. Brett's been helping with my truck, so that's why I did that. So next
Yeah,
we
it's only
can
twice.
go to, well, I could go ahead. Do you guys want me to go ahead and go to Stephen so he doesn't have to sit through the meeting?
Well,
No, you're right, I'll cry.
Do you wanna skip forward to
And
Steve
put on
and
hold
this
and-
and
Yeah.
all the other stuff?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go
You
ahead
okay
and
with
come
that?
up and we can,
Me.
okay.
Super.
All kinds of points.
You can be official at the party.
So I've got a copy for each of you. Amy politely introduced
Thank
me. I'm Stephen Williams, and I had actually come up with this idea. Oh, let's see. Towards the beginning of the previous mayor's first round, didn't see the possibility of highly interest. So, if you happen to be noticing while you're driving down 14 and 25, crossing from in front of the golf course, going towards the hospital, Dairy Queen, all that, sort of time to time, you'll see folks walking across the highway. You know, one of these days somebody's going to forget. I'm surprised nobody has yet. But they're going now with the Butterfly Garden and the actual beach there. They're going across to those, open, free public places. And so I've had the idea of some type of safe sidewalk to get folks over there. But of course, we'll have to cross Mill Creek at some point in time. So I sat down and with the help of Google Maps, if you look on page 2, you'll see, the other way, Kim. Yep. There's a layout of the actual distance. So this is from the intersection of, I believe that's there at Lakeshore Drive, right there in front of B&K on your top left. And that will actually go down Lakeshore Drive about 1,000 feet. There's already a crossing established there. I don't know if there's an actual culvert under it or what, but there's already an actual dirt grassed connection between there. So you could actually, in how I have it laid it out, is you could cross from Lakeshore Drive to Ewing, and then from there you would need to place a bridge over Mill Creek. But after looking at it, it does not go down into the floodplain area, so which helps. But that crossing could be placed over there. We'll go around the wooded area, and then you could actually put the sidewalk by the Butterfly Garden and then to the pavilion. The idea would be just an asphalt sidewalk like what the walking path is around the hospital and in front of the fire station. So that's the basic idea. One of the gentlemen from the sidewalk committee brought up that there currently is a good functional sidewalk on Lakeshore Drive. So that part of the project could be retracted from this idea. And then they would just have to cross. But the basis would be pedestrian safety, getting from that side of the ditch to the other side. So I went ahead and just Googled for a bridge contractor. And on page 3, there's pricing from this Bridge Brothers. And again, this is all a preliminary idea. I know there's bigger possibilities of some local contractor that could build us a bridge for probably less money than what the preliminary cost would be. But just a simple 4 foot by 50 foot long prefabricated steel bridge with a wood composite decking. You're looking between 40 to 43,000 for just the bridge. No, it's actually, for what it is, it's not. But I'm sure there's some more feasible possibilities that could be locally or here within the state. This company is based out of Georgia, so you'd have additional costs from getting it up here, plus then your installation costs. And we'll definitely have to get the Army Corps of Engineers involved since we're crossing water, navigable waterway. But
I know we talked about a bridge across, basically the dam area.
mhm,
That was gonna be really tough to get that, but that was a floodplain, I believe.
correct.
Yeah, on that.
Yes. Yep.
And I think you would maybe talk to Craig Welding,
Yep.
possibly about building the structure and then composite decking and railing.
Yep.
You'd be, I would guess, much less.
Oh, yes.
How much?
Yeah. Yeah. I had not had, by the time I spoke with Amy and found out when the sidewalk committee's meeting was, I hadn't had enough time to get with Craig's to get a close figure on them actually constructing the bridge. But as I reached out to this salesman, I said, I am just asking for a roundabout price just to get the ball rolling. So,
And that's wise. You don't want to put in all this time and effort
yes,
if you hit a brick wall.
yes,
You know, so
Yep.
I mean, now, back in the day, I remember there used to be a bridge where the dam is. And you could walk across from where the dam landing is to the other side, and people used to fish off of it and everything else, and it was just a wooden bridge. And
They took it out.
they took it out when they redid the dam. And
When the dam breached.
Yeah.
so I mean, there used to be one,
Mhm.
and that, you know, this kind of hits a chord because I agree 1,000% with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I see people out on 25, a highway, or 14, whatever you call it.
yeah,
And you know, there's kids going from one side, and this is our park. They're
Yep.
going from one side of the park to the other on a highway, and what could possibly go wrong?
yeah,
You know, and their bikes and everything else.
yeah,
And it's just a dangerous, you know, that whole intersection's dangerous.
Yep.
The highway's dangerous, and there's semis there, and I mean, it's a bad area,
yeah,
you know. But I kind of sidebarred it when I heard Army Corps of Engineers. You know, and then I thought, well, maybe further down, Army Corps of Engineers wouldn't be contacted,
yeah.
need to be contacted. You know, here's the dam was the Army Corps of Engineers, and then I know then we're also talking DNR is that area. I mean, the whole thing is that there's so many different entities that to me, it isn't, this here is the easy part.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
the
Everybody
hard
wants their
part-
blessing.
You know,
involved.
the hard part to me, and this is why I kind of sidebarred it. I mean, I didn't even go forward, is because of the Army Corps of Engineers and the DNR. And then, you know, I think the park board, I mean,
I agree.
I think we could kind of, I mean, I'm on board with
Oh, I
this,
think
but
it's awesome.
I think it's a phenomenal idea, and I remember when I was a kid, I used to fish out there all the time and go from one side to the other, and I didn't have to get on the road.
Yep.
You know, and I mean, I fished out there at the fishing ponds and everything else.
Yeah.
And I was safe. And now it just makes my skin crawl to see the kids on 14 and 25, and
Yep.
it's a shame.
Then you throw a heavy rain in, and east of the bridge, you get water across the road, and it just
Right.
make things even worse.
Yeah,
So-
and I mean, more traffic and everything else, and semis, and I just, it's just a bad situation. I agree 1,000%.
Yep.
I see Dwayne back there shaking your head.
Raising noise.
But the Army Corps of Engineers, I mean, to me, that's gonna be the biggest hurdle. I don't, I mean,
Well, and again, this is just preliminary. That's what I'm bringing to you. And yeah,
I do have a question.
yeah.
I think I understand where you're talking about the bridge placement, but then how about actually crossing the road? I mean, what type, 14 there, what's the answer to that?
Well, there's there's
Is that
not
what
really.
we need to help find out?
I mean, so you're still on two sides of the highway.
Yeah.
when you come to
no matter
that
what,
point.
So,
But this, the preliminary idea on this would be if someone is getting or is wanting to go to the beach or the pavilion or the butterfly garden or something over in that area, and they're already on that side of the road, this would be a way to, yes, And the very first page, that is a mapped out what current walking path
Yeah.
would be to get there. So,
Right.
I will tell you from my experience in the last year,
Bill,
crossing the state highway, bringing NDOT into the fold,
I can't imagine what.
and especially where it's while you're there, they're gonna wanna put a refuge island in, they wanna go to such extremes. It's a huge lift and it's not practical,
Yeah,
because of their methodology.
that's what that was gonna be my point. That's why I was
Just
asking.
the trail crossing was a huge
Yeah.
thing.
Well, this is just keeping on that side of the road though,
Yeah.
go across with
Yes.
where the dam comes.
yeah, you just simply put a sign up there, says enter at your own risk, and
But the thing is, see, the highway separates Lakeview Park from Lakeside Park. So there's two different parks.
But now, the creek is separated, it is separated by,
The single park
Yeah.
is,
Lakeside Park is separated into two different parks just by a creek, and you don't have access unless you get out on the highway.
Mhm.
You know, so this is
remedies
basically
that.
what this does. It's not connecting two parks, it's connected one park to access to the whole park.
yeah,
So that's where I really like it, because it's not connecting, well, let's try and get from one side of the highway to the other.
yeah,
this is just getting,
Let's have access to the whole park without getting on the highway,
yeah,
and that's what I like about it.
this proposal.
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right, I agree. I think it's fantastic.
So that's all I was coming for.
Okay.
Simple. I did not win the Powerball, so I can't pay for it.
Oh, man.
I think the sidewalk committee though, I mean, yeah, I think that first part where you can use a current sidewalk would be plenty good enough for, especially along that street, because it's
Yeah.
pretty low traffic.
Yes, yep. Low traffic and it's still in good condition.
That opens up Manitou Heights to be able to get over to that, seeing all the kids that live in there.
Correct, yeah. Yep. So, all right.
Hold on, my only thing is what's our next steps, instead of just, okay, well, you have a proposed one, okay, well,
Yeah,
good job.
what
I mean,
research
what
do
do
we
we-
need to do?
What do we need to do?
I have no clue.
I think we have.
I don't, no, I'm just bringing it to you. and-
Somebody takes it on.
Yeah, I don't,
we need
I
to
don't,
wait and see what city council comes up on.
I don't know, the city council has to do anything except, you need to talk to Army Corps engineers, see if it's permissible, first of all.
Yeah.
Then I'd go to Craig's and get a bid on what it would cost.
Okay.
Get a bid on I would use composite and some sort of
Start regional.
Yep.
railing that's acceptable. If it's not, if you could build the railing into the superstructure of the.
Yes.
That'd be ideal.
Yep.
All you do is lay down a deck.
Yep.
Just to get another price and then bring it back.
Yep. Yep, and that's what this bridge proposal was safety sides, a handrail,
Yeah.
composite flooring.
Yeah,
So,
I would check with the Army Corps first to see, is this far enough down where we don't have to deal with you?
And then the Indiana DNR, is that,
We don't know where that is. I don't know where that is.
I would probably check,
Wildlife.
check with DNR first maybe, and then they might refer you to the Army Corps.
I'll just ask them to sign a paper, says it's all good, and
If you
then
can do that with your charm.
Move
get that.
we just basically find jurisdiction?
You know, and if jurisdiction is us.
I think the jurisdiction's you, but that's just my thought.
Yeah.
If it was, we didn't know we got a grid. But no, I truly
Applaud this, and I appreciate it, because it's definitely needed.
Yep, you're welcome.
Another
thank you.
person you might get with to get a price is Dick Smith. He did, do you know Dick Smith? I can give you his number.
Okay, sure.
And, he did some work for us at the pool and did, railings, and he did our lifeguard stand and all that. He does all
Okay.
that kind of stuff. He does
Okay.
fabricating all that. He loves doing it.
Okay.
And new, so you get a price from him too.
Okay. All right, can do.
Did something like that for us already at the pool.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you my number and email.
What was the problem when the Lake Association
Okay.
approached about putting the bridge over
I'll give you Dick's number.
Mill Creek?
Okay.
What was the problem there?
Well, it has to do with the flooding, the potential flooding. There's there's a booklet, and Beth, you've got, because you're the damn person.
Yeah.
But she inherited that from Shada.
Second.
Is the point of contact for the dam.
First.
But, they did their study and all that, and what the flood zone and all that is, and that was actually what became one of the issues with the flower garden, is that it can't be a permanent structure because it's in a flood zone. So, and that's the same with the bridge. We can't have a permanent structure because it would be in the flood zone. And, so, yeah.
But I thought you said it wasn't in floodplain.
Yeah, you said it.
No, that whole area is in a
Oh,
flood.
it is.
The entire area is the
Right.
floodplain, but there's two levels,
Right.
and this is on the top tier.
Got it.
And that booklet you have actually has a map that shows how, like if the dam was to burst, where the water would flow and all that.
Right.
They did all. And actually, most of it was gonna empty into the golf course. That's where most of it was
Yeah.
gonna go.
That one.
It's not
I can
gonna go
bring
to
that.
Manitowoc High or the golf
I can get you a copy of that
course.
map and everything.
Yeah. So as somebody that's maybe not gonna be here in the next couple of years, I suggest you just go ahead and build it and then
Oh, my.
say whatever.
So
We're
Mayor,
gonna say Dwayne said it was okay.
You know,
To wait.
the former mayor of Kokomo, that when he built the ball field in the flood zone, told them to, do something about it, and it's still there, so.
But he's not.
He's not.
good point.
She resigned.
At 11 o'clock at night's a good time to put it in.
Well, I mean, and this is just a resident of Rochester talking, I'm sorry, it's our community, and if we think it's something that's good, I don't care. If it's something that's good for our community, then why should we have some agency that doesn't live in our community dictate what we do?
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, I think that's just the way the world should be, but that's just me.
Yeah, I know they ran into roadblocks and that's why
Yep.
they got dropped.
Right, yep.
But we'll resurrect it.
See what happens.
Okay.
You see what I'm appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Good
coming.
idea, good thought.
Do I need to reach out to the Army Corps then?
I would go Indiana DNR
DNR.
first.
The DNR is probably gonna be your first stop, because depending on where you build it, because the Army Corps of Engineers is just involved with just the dam area and just like the first 100 feet.
Okay,
If we want to
We're
work on
outside.
down the creek someplace, then we're talking DNR.
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
Okay. thank
get with
you.
them. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Jessica wants to be skipped tonight, so we'll go to Landon.
Yep.
Apologize, I don't have my weekly report. I was having computer issues, but
Winner.
yeah, it's winter. But as far as things are going, car's doing great. Just got done with the Christmas lights, so got it all up and down, and everything went well. And as far as kind of things coming up, there's a few little projects and some things I got to get ordered, but trying to get through the winter.
There was something I wanted to ask you. Anyway, we have a lot of light poles out to the park. Could we get with Ed Waltz and see if it's possible if we could go to the pole and run electricity down to have some plugins? So we don't have 5,000 extension cords all over the ground. If we just had them on the poles, Ed and I were looking, they're spaced kind of at the right places, so that would help on trippage and that kind of stuff. And get us a price on that before next Christmas. You think that's feasible? Okay, thank you. Dwayne, you're up.
Yeah.
You're up.
Oh, I'm up. Oh, yeah, I'm like Landon. Yeah, there's not a lot going on right now. We did get those picnic tables and guy got those over and you're done putting those together yet?
All done.
Yeah, right.
They're heavy, but I'll get them done.
I did get a call from Bud and Baum and Moore this afternoon late, and so just so you know, tomorrow morning, first thing, if you would go unlock the gates of the pool. They're going to come in and do some and drill some cores to get ready for the slide to put in. So they're going to be here tomorrow morning. And really, that at this point, this is all I've got.
Okay, and I'll tell you while you're, Play Pros, I talked to them today. They will be here in approximately 3 weeks to do the sunshades.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're getting really, really busy, so they're doing that kind of stuff that they can get done now. So they have approximately 3 weeks, they'll be coming to do that, so that's moving right along.
Could I touch up on?
Definitely.
First of all, guys, thank you very much for everything you did for Light Up the Park. Phenomenal job, great job. I called Christmas Land today and talked to Danelle. And I was like, hey, they're gonna be bringing over that Merry Christmas sign. He said they already brought it over.
Oh,
They said, they said, just light it up. So he said, I had questions about that. He said he left a voicemail for you, but I answered his questions because he wanted to build a frame. He said, I was gonna build a frame and then put it on it, but I can't attach it because it's aluminum. And I said, I think our idea was just drill holes and just string it. And he said, okay, I'm gonna get, and then he sent me a thing and he's gonna send a quote over on that later on. But answered that. So phenomenal job getting it over there so fast. You guys had it done and we never even knew it. So,
Yeah, geez, oh, Pete.
so it's already over there and, they're gonna string up the lights. And I just want to talk about later on in the meeting, talk about maybe a budget. So we have the money to be able to pay these people. And if we're all good for
Sure.
being able
Okay.
to fund this for Light Up the Park, because it's $4,000 nice display donated. We might want to put lights on it for next year and string it up. So you guys did a phenomenal job. Every time we sent you something, you guys were all over it. So thank you guys very much. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
As a side to that, since we're talking about that, and you may have seen some of the pictures my wife posted, but we were down in Albuquerque, New Mexico a couple weeks ago between Christmas and New Year's. And they have a botanical garden down there that they basically do the same thing we do, light up the park. The difference is their budget is a lot different than ours. So they start, it takes them 12 weeks, 13 people, and they build all of the Christmas lights on site. And there were over 700 individual lighted pieces. What was really cool was a lot of it is 3-dimensional. It's not just 2D. They actually are 3-dimensional. Some of them, and there were different themes depending on what part of the park you went through. It was 2 hours that we walked through this.
Wow.
And it had, and they also have, and it's right next to the, what river is that? Not the Rio Grande. Guadalupe. It's one of those. It's a major river that goes through New Mexico. And they have a pond area that even had like a lighted submarine in it and alligators. And then there was a section that had like dinosaurs. And the one, whatever the tree eating dinosaur is with a real long neck, this thing was like, okay, 50 feet tall. This thing was humongous and it was 3-dimensional. And so, and it was just phenomenal what they did with this. It was like, they had different places. They had, like they had a leopard. They had like, you know how like when you, as a kid, you like draw the pictures on the corner of a piece of paper, like a book, and then you could flip through it and see the thing moving. They had stuff like that with a leopard that ran across this ground and jumped up on this thing, but it was just the lights flashing across, seeing this thing run. I mean, it was just really cool what they did. Of course, their budget was a lot more.
What do you think it was?
Sure. But it was just really neat. I guess the point of all that is that you can however you want to expand your ideas about how we light up our park. It's just endless, the type of things that you can do with that. And so next year, I would expand our ideas on how we want to do this and really look outside of the box, because we can do some really cool stuff after seeing what they did. It was like, I mean, they even had some of their stuff is that they've got a building that has some indoor plants that are like tropical stuff. And they had like laser lights in there with the smoke and music and stuff. And they have some pavilions also. They had one set aside and they had it lit up and they had music in there and the kids were dancing. And it was just really a cool experience to see what they were doing. They had different stations where they were selling hot chocolate and adult drinks and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I think in the future we just need to expand our ideas about how we do that, because it's just endless what we could do.
For sure.
So when it comes budget time.
Okay, get out and start fundraising now.
Yeah. And that's something else too. They didn't, some of it was corporate
Yeah,
sponsored.
Mhm.
So there were places where, and they did have, they had their signs. This was
Right.
sponsored by whatever corporation or whatever company. And they had this really cool light, so.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start doing that earlier in the year.
Yeah.
I think that was something that Ed and I definitely discussed and Jess. So it's not just the last couple, the last quarter.
Sure, yeah.
I did have something I wanted to ask you guys. I have a little bit of money left, for the butterfly garden that I got from grants. So I kind of had an idea that maybe I could get a really tall flagpole, and we have a flag out there out at the beach, an American flag. And then at Christmas time, then we could make it into a tree like we did at the park. And so if we put it kind of close to the butterfly garden where there is access to electricity. So I wanted to ask you guys, all you guys, what you thought about that. I thought it would be kind of neat out there, a flag by the butterfly garden, and then use it as a tree, kind of add just a little bit more to it, and there'd be electricity there. And then the other thing, I left the lights up at the butterfly garden because Landon, we're gonna add red and blue for the 4th of July, for the 250-year anniversary. I thought that would be kind of fun. Not a lot of money, just a couple strands of lights. And I've been looking on Amazon for the light pole. They have black ones and they're not very expensive compared to the aluminum. So, okay, all right. I just didn't want to go do it without saying something.
And while we're kind of talking in the future and lights and that, I got a quote from Donnell, and it's America's 250th birthday. And there's a lot of stuff going on and everything else going to be. But, we talk about the 4th of July, and most people in here probably seen the light up the park, and we had that 7-foot standing soldier that was saluting. Did most people see that? I would like to, for America's 250th birthday, they have a really neat, Dwayne and I went over. So they have a really neat Indiana LED torch. So it's the torch with the stars. And that's $720. And I thought it would be really cool. I got a quote for a 5x7 US flag for it's $605. And if we bought 2, we could have the torch, 2 flags, and 2 soldiers. We take the one we had. And then that way, for the 250th, we could use it for the light up the park every year, at least the torch and the flags. But for the 4th of July, when we have our 4th of July fireworks, how cool would that be to put the display out there? So then that's lit up. We have the Arts and Music Festival. We could put it out there, provided we get permission from our county councilman to put it on the courthouse lawn. We have the 250th. We're going to have like picnics and stuff like that when we have concerts in the park. This is something that we could use. I want to wear that thing out where we could put it on certain events. You know, if the high school football team, hey, we have a patriotic, celebrate on Veterans Day, we could put it up. You know, it's something that I really want the community to use. And overall, it's gonna cost an additional $2,555 to get this 5 display, because we already have one.
How much?
$2,555. That's 2 5x7 US flags, they're LEDs. And then that's an 8-foot Indiana LED torch at 720. And that's another 7-foot saluting soldier at 625. And see, the thing is it's also for light up the park too. So what the investment that we have, it kind of leads into the 250th. But for my vision, you know, the 4th of July fireworks, you know, I go to the 4th of July fireworks at Akron, and then we come to, I mean, they have all sorts of stuff over there, and we come to ours and we have an elephant ear stand. You know, and it's like, well, where's the beef? You know, where's everything else at? You know, and the elephant ear stand, you know, there's 800 people in line, because that's the only thing there. But I mean, to put some extra lights up there and just put some jazz up there. And I'd like, you know, with the lights and everything else, with having this Christmas tree, I would like to put some money aside and make a proposal. I don't know how much money we have or how much at the beginning of the year. I would propose maybe just $10,000 where we could come up with this stuff. Because when he comes back and says this lights, I don't want to have to every time come back and say, hey, he wants this much for the lights. I make a proposal that we pay for that Merry Christmas lights. You know, if we want to get this, he's going to have to start working on it. We can't go to him in May and say, okay, well, let's start getting the ball rolling. You know, I just want to be able to use this here, the $2,555 as a community asset to be able to use it whenever. You know, and Landon, the main thing is we have to keep it close to the door. I don't want it buried in back where we have to be stomping all over all the other Christmas displays to pull out the soldier, to pull out the flags and everything else. So that's just my thought process on that. If we could.
Mitch, do you have anything?
Yeah, what are you guys doing
No, I'm done.
Yeah, I think he was done.
there? I think we need to keep the 2,500 separate from the 10,000 for the displays. Or just make it, you know, 13,000 and be done with it. Follow me?
Well, he wants to make it a total of 13,000
Make it
instead of
13,000
10,000.
if you're gonna do it, otherwise keep it separate from,
Okay.
you know,
It's
the
January,
displays.
so
Yeah,
there's
okay.
small equipment
Sure,
budget, so-
okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
We can
I
do
think
that.
You agree with that?
Mhm.
Okay,
I'm good. with
I'm
that.
gonna make a motion.
I'll make a motion, we do
I second the motion.
Okay.
it. As
all-
it was proposed.
Yes.
All in favor? Okay,
Thank you, guys.
That was easy.
You know, while he's on that, Landon, you personally tell everybody when you know, works for you and with you, thank you, you guys did a
Yeah.
magnificent job, okay?
We're a lot of help.
And the team, or whatever you wanna call it, you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
We had a lot of fun.
It was
we had a
fun.
lot of fun. We really did.
And thanks
Okay.
for coming out and standing in the cold with us.
Yeah.
You guys who did that night. It
And
was
you would go by
cold.
and give us pep talk. Looks good.
The
You're
what?
doing good. You go by and give us pep talk in your warm truck. You guys are looking good. Keep on.
He
You
let
drive
us
off
use-
and I'd be all right.
Let's use
We're
the
doing
truck,
good.
though. Let's use the truck on opening night to warm up.
Yes.
And that was
Yes.
nice.
Was a little cool.
It was
We
a
got
little
to see
chilly.
Candy. Okay.
It was nice.
Alrighty, we'll have Lindsay up next.
Okay, hi, I'm back.
Hi.
Are you guys listening?
Yes, ma'am.
So much.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first page is just a little bit about the park program this year, a little bit about the program, the schedule. And there was a good grant opportunity. I think that they shared that I filled out a grant on behalf of the Parks Department that would be geared towards, like, I think it's called America 250 grant, and it was about history. And so I went down the trail of death route for that. So we'll go, it's all starting with the Potawatomi, just teaching the kids about the history of the Potawatomi Indians around Fulton County. And starting at the park that you guys were just talking about with Steven, the lake park, where we'll talk about the Manitou monster and, the Potawatomi Indians that inhabited there. I've talked to the History Society, or Melinda at the History Museum, and so she's going to coordinate some speakers for us and stuff. I've talked to Julie Schomburger about seeing a movie there. There's a whole program that was written up and submitted. We haven't heard back yet. There's another Indian Arts Commission grant though, that if we don't get that one, I'll go for that one. And it's about the same amount of money. Both of them are. So that's just that. If you have any questions about the schedule, we're going to be working with the water and conservation crew and also the tree board again to do a native tree encyclopedia each week at the library when we go. So that'll be fun. We're going to go to Potawatomi Park again, coordinating with them to continue that information or that learning. Element Studio is going to do some artwork to go along with that theme too. So she's going to do it, come to the park and do a session in the park, and then we'll have a mural. Obviously, Jess is going to help design a logo that will be. I've given her a description of it, so she'll design a logo, and then that logo will be what the mural looks like just like the butterfly mural. We'll do it, but it'll be for the theme. And then it'll also be on the back of the kids' shirts along with the supporters and stuff like that. So it'll be kind of real thematic. Any questions about that?
Where's the mural going to be located?
Probably at the Butterfly Garden again. I'll consult with Landon. I have an idea, but I don't know how.
My goodness.
There we go.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Now she's here.
We can vote on it. I don't really care. I'm up. Whatever you guys say.
Okay.
But actually,
I think it might be. Is there a volume thing over there?
There is.
If I go over here, I'll just come over here. Okay.
Gosh.
We're gonna, maybe it makes sense because it is about Spirit Lake.
Yeah.
And to be over at the Butterfly Garden, and there already is one, and there is a space on the other side of would it fit there?
Try.
Yeah, so he'll figure it out. He did a good job. Look at you split last times. So yeah, is there any questions about that, the curriculum or anything? Oh, we're working with Jana, and so I'm gonna give her my schedule, and then what we're trying to do is build it. I think that I told her that I think I'll have money and when I looked at the money initially yesterday in our budget, I increased our transportation budget so that we can bus the kids that come to the daycare at Little Zebras Daycare or whatever they're calling it. Because it's a huge issue. Like daycare afterwards is such a huge issue. Reliable quality daycare, which is what they're going to be providing. And that's what we hear from parents. Like transportation and daycare is a huge problem. So when I talked to Jana, when we work together, like one of my goals is that our numbers, we could still increase a little bit with our ratios, like with liability purposes. Okay, so liability, we can increase our numbers a little bit with campers. So if I work with her, then we can like share kids, and then they have an awesome experience with like daycare and stuff like that. And what the partnership would be is like she, refers them, and then I refer them, that referral basis. But then they would, the bus would pick them up from lunch. So the kids would get breakfast.
Yeah, nice.
They would have a crap ton of fun with us. And then they get all of the experiences. They can be a scholarship kid if they need to be. And then they can go and have lunch and eat at the high school. And then they can get bussed over for daycare. And then I think that she's working, whatever. So that's that partnership with the schools too.
I like that.
And then the next thing is just the hourly kind of to-do list that is anticipated throughout the course of the program. The one thing I did add it in here is, and if you'll look underneath February and March, the last time I was here, we had talked about a potential fundraiser, and Mitch had said something about Friends of the Park, and it just seems like that's something that I can do along being the parks program is help to build that. And I've been able to connect with 2 educator friends, one at Tippy Valley and one at Rochester, who are interested in helping us build a Friends of the Park. And with us communicating to parents right now, it's gonna be, we can work with Jess to get a group of parents together to help to do that. And it's very just timely to be doing all of that at the same time. So I did want to see how you guys felt about me cultivating that type of group with Jess, and then coming up with a list of priorities of things to do for them. Like I'll share an event later, but cleaning up the park, like hosting clean up the park days, like, every once in a while, potentially anything that you guys would want them to do, maybe having a volunteer committee to help put up the lights in December, and like if we get them on now at the start to like build that group now, then when it comes time to feeding them, they will be ready. Like there will be a huge pool to pull from. So I just wanted to see how you guys felt about that. The Friends of the Park, because it is added in there as an item, and I don't have to do it if you're like,
I think it's
I'm give it a try. I mean, I've tried
before?
several times, and we advertised, that we were cleaning up the park and all that, and I had my minister's wife show up and my girlfriend. So,
But if she's using parents who are.
no, there's like a committee, like you got like, that was just one of the ideas that I had for that. Like, I mean, and we were and when I was in Logansport, we had an anti-litter club, and through the school, because it wasn't just one person going out there saying, will you guys come help me? It was like a whole group it was a club. Yeah. We had a whole crew, like multiple times when I cleaned up all of their parks. So, like we had a big crew of kids, and their parents then came too. So. Yeah. Okay. Is that, and then like Mitch, if you have any ideas of things that you think the parents should do, or if anybody does, I'll email you.
I have to think on that.
Okay, cool.
Maybe in the parade, get.
Absolutely.
Right, no, okay, so if you'll look, actually, I'm glad that you said that, because if you look on the 18th, there's also a list of additional activities that I myself, and then Abby, the assistant director, and then also I can get the high school to be at, to do promotions for the parks program for the parks department, if they want us to, at Nickel Plate, at the Trail of Courage. I put the Nickel Plate parade, the festival. So the Trail of Courage, just because it's the Potawatomi Indian tribe. And I talked to Melinda about that, and she said, yes, that would be great to have the mural there to kind of share, like, this is what we did, the Parks Department did this summer to honor the Native Americans. And then the other thing I have to add on here is in May, in Summer Parks Program, this is good for us because we can advertise the program. But the downtown, I don't know if it's downtown partnership, Julie Schomburger. It's Julie Schomburger. I don't know what, she does 5 million things. So she is organizing the May days downtown. And so she has asked if, like, she asked me as the parks program lady, if I wanted to go there, and I said, I would like to, as the parks program lady, to go there. I'm going to the park board meeting on Monday. Let me just check with them. But I would like to go there to recruit people to like come, like kids and stuff like that, to give them information.
At the May Day event.
Yeah. I don't, that was just an idea, but those were some events that I had thought of too, that would help attend those events. So I'll come up with a list and share with you guys next month of activities that we came up with that we thought might be helpful. And then you guys tell us, so I'll come up with that.
Hey, Lindsay.
Yes.
Think of like things you want to use for promotional items too, like if you're wanting stuff to be printed, like a pamphlet or anything like that, because I could help design that and then it could be quoted for the board to print the materials or something.
Oh,
like that.
excellent. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, so that
Great.
then you're not just word of mouth and just going around telling everybody
Oh,
stuff that
no.
they might forget.
Yeah, so we'll have all that prepared for you guys, like next February or March, one of the two. So we'll have that all. After the last thing, or the next to last thing is okay, so remember I'm not handling chicken bodies anymore. We're moving on to Dan's fish fry. And we can't I don't know, this was my idea for a fundraising event, community music and movie night and family fry fundraiser. Working title.
Frying the families.
Anyways, we're gonna sell fish fry tickets, blah blah blah. But I wanted to do an event to raise money and have a movie night, like do something a little bit like different. So that was the thought. I don't know why it says June 15th. Originally the date was on like July 8th or something like that, which I can move it. But that was our fundraiser idea, was movie and music night and a fish fry fundraiser.
Now, the fish fry thing, that's like out to the historical, right?
They don't always go out there. They
No.
kind of hop around, don't they?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be out there.
Oh, it doesn't, she
No.
can, they can come anywhere and do it? Okay.
Yeah, they get around.
No, fish, chicken,
Hmm?
fish.
Fish is good.
You like fish? You were the one. Yeah, that was your idea.
Everybody likes fish. Fish fries do really good.
They do, and we're gonna sell tickets. I'm gonna have like the high school kids help sell tickets ahead of time and stuff. Like, so it'll be way better this year. It'll be way. God. Okay, that was a learning experience. Okay, and then the last thing is just the budgets. I put 2024 in there, 2025, and 2026. 2026 is it's significant. I think it's significantly less, or it's about the same, a little less than last year's. Same amount. Originally we had thought maybe 45,000, but it ended up only being 30. I don't see it being any different for employee costs that the park board is going to, or that proposed. You could see that up in employee costs and see the changes over the course of time. And then the rest of it will be fundraising, the rest of the money, the total expenses and stuff. It'll be fundraising and that kind of stuff. And the numbers aren't all filled in, but the most important part I wanted to get in there was the employee costs for 2026. Just right there up at the top. So the other numbers are a little off, but the employee costs, because that's the only thing that is coming from the park board budget. The everything else is coming from grants and fundraisers. Okay, that's all. That's all I got. Any questions?
Nope. Thank you.
That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
I know.
We have a meeting Monday. Lindsay and I are gonna go over park.
I've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
Tammy had to make up for all
I
my
don't really
month.
have a lot of marketing. I think I'll work with Lindsay on that.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Okay, Lori, you're up.
I don't want to set that thing off, so I'll do that. Lindsay, sit here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Close enough. As far as the pool is concerned, obviously it's the middle of the winter, but I'm headed for Texas on Thursday. So I'm gonna be gone for a couple months. And while I'm there, I want to start contacting lifeguards and trying to get the process started on who's planning to come back, who needs recertified, that type of situation while I'm out there. I did that last year and it seemed to work out pretty good. I did phone interviews with people. But one of my biggest things that I would like to talk about is last year I had 2 assistant managers, and I don't know that I had requested that. But after going through the season, I realized that was overkill. It was really difficult to make sure that they were getting an appropriate amount of hours for the pay that they were getting, that I was there and that we weren't like, I was coming in and trying to be there my 40 hours, but then they were doing their, 25 that we had agreed upon. And there were 2 managers there a lot of times, myself and one of them. So my request is to go back to just 1. And I know that there's times when the reason I wanted to was when neither one of us would happen to be there because of conflict and schedule or whatever, to be able to utilize a head lifeguard. I'd done it for many, many years and truly had no issue. The head lifeguards are trained the same way that myself and the assistant managers are trained as far as emergencies are concerned. We're all lifeguards. We've all have the CPR training, the first aid training and type of that. It would be somebody that's been there, that knows our procedures and policies on how to handle emergencies, a matured lifeguard. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. If I have your blessing to go ahead and move towards that, then that's what I'd like to do. So
You would know best, you're there. And sure, crew.
okay.
As long as it liability wise and everything else, that's gonna be within the guidelines. That's
I
mine.
mean, they're all certified.
Yeah, nobody is there that's not certified. The only person that's there that's not certified CPR is my concession person. And gosh, if I asked her, she probably is. She's a junior in college, so she might have taken a class or something like that along the way. So, yeah, anybody that's there on staff is certified.
Majority of the lifeguards, what are they, high school? What are they?
Last year I had a pretty young crew, because I had just came back after being gone for several years. And so some of the older lifeguards that had been there for a few seasons chose not to come back. So I will have a couple that are college age. My assistant managers, both of them were 20 and 21. So yeah, they're younger, but I have several that are graduating, and I have had several, if they come back, that did go to college this past year. So high school, college age. I like a really good mix of both, but like I said, last year after coming back, it was a pretty young crew, to be honest with you. So,
You're gonna have the same numbers that you had last year?
as far as lifeguards are concerned, yeah, that seems to work best, Mitch. Particularly because a lot of them are involved with sports, and camps and those type of things take away some time. And 4-H, I've had several that are pretty heavily involved with that. So they're gone some of the season. So to staff adequately, that's about where we ended up with 11 last year. I started out with 12. I had a young lady that played college softball and she got injured and wasn't able to guard. So I ended up with 11 total for the season.
And what day are you looking at opening up the pool?
I haven't even looked at that. We tried to do it around the holiday that weekend. So that's I haven't even looked at those dates, to be honest with you. It's still winter time. I know, but it's fast approaching, so I could.
And when you get back, Lori, we'll talk about the concession stand, how we need to make some changes there. I don't think we need to talk about it in January, but we definitely need to get things so you're not losing money. And
It was rough last season.
yeah, we'll get that figured out because they do the same thing at the golf course. So I'm sure there's a happy medium. We can do something to make it so that you're not losing money on that and have a good time in Texas and Joe.
Now I'm going down there to be the nanny, really, truly.
Yeah.
That they call me nanny, but that's what I do. I am available if anybody needs to call and chat with me. I have my cell phone on me. I don't know. I don't think I need to zoom in for any meeting, but if something comes up and you need that, I'm available. So just let me know.
Have safe travels. Okay, thank you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Okay, I just had some things. I've been talking to Bryce. I hadn't talked to him for a while. They were just here, a few days ago. Akron, is putting in a very nice, large recirculating splash pad. And so they hired Play Pros to do it. So he said they were just in our area. I by no means am picking out anything for the playground. I just sat down and I was kind of a little bit overwhelmed. And so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna sit in the books, sit and look at the books and get some prices. He did say their calendar is filling up very fast. If we want a playground done, for this next year, the longer we wait to order and decide, the longer it's gonna be before we have a playground. So I guess first of all, we need to vote on, if we wanted it at JC or Fansler Park. So you guys can tell me how you feel about that. And I know you, we're wanting to hit JC's.
I would pretty much say JC, it's our smallest park.
Yep.
It's the only one without electricity.
Yeah, but we have to vote on that. We haven't done that.
And I would say that would be our first focus, because once we get into Fansler Park, then we have courts, we have a ball field. There's a lot more that's gonna be going into that in my opinion, and it's gonna be a lot longer thought process. So I mean, I wouldn't be prepared to come up and I would like to get an engineer or somebody over there to kind of design the park before we even get into at Fansler,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of room over there that I would like to utilize the space.
What about, the bathroom? You're gonna take care of that?
Well, first of all, I would propose we focus our attention on JC Park this year. And that would be my proposal, unless anybody.
Okay, all in favor?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've been talking about for a little over a year. We need to get it done. And, it's not like they go on a shelf and pick off the parts.
Right.
So we need to get it going.
That's what I worked on today.
Bathroom, and that'll be a year, lifetime probably.
So I propose we start with JC Park this year. Do I get a second?
Yeah, I seconded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Dwayne, sorry to interrupt. We're gonna be, yes, it was unanimous.
Yeah.
We're gonna be working on JC Park this year. The one question I have in the computer system, word on the street, I heard that they added the restrooms in on that computer system. You know what you're talking about, where you could go in the
Oh,
computer?
the capital expenditure.
The capital expenditure. Somebody told me that they just added the restrooms in on that, where you could, not the capital expenditure, but the computer system that's like,
Like for maintenance?
no, not for maintenance, where you could go in and you don't have to get quotes or anything. Sourcewell.
Oh, okay.
In Sourcewell, I heard that
They
they
did. I
added
saw it.
restrooms in on Sourcewell. Could you check on that to see if the restrooms is on Sourcewell? And then that way, we're gonna get a discount on Sourcewell. And then if you could do that by the next meeting, just for a single plain old restroom, a single unit,
unisex restroom.
and I will call the two individual places. And then that way, because I have two connections, and then that way we could kind of come up, and then we could kind of look at the lag time. So if you could get that on Sourcewell, and then I will get the other two, and then we could come up with what we're gonna have. Now, does Sourcewell also give you the distributor? Or
So-
does it just go?
Okay, so with Sourcewell, what we need to do, if we have suppliers for bathrooms, we need to find out if they are registered with Sourcewell.
Mhm.
Okay, I will,
And so if they are, then there will be a Sourcewell price that they provide for their product.
okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call the two people, my two connections, get the quotes and everything else, and then I will call you. And then I'd ask them if they have a Sourcewell price and everything else, and then I will talk to you.
And it'll be like, like after we talk to
Play Pros.
Play Pro,
Shades.
they came back with a new quote that had the Sourcewell discount on it.
Yes, yes.
So that's what we need to find out with the suppliers. If they're in Sourcewell, then they should provide a quote and it'll show the Sourcewell discount on there.
But could you just look on Sourcewell when you get a chance and just see if restrooms are on Sourcewell?
Well,
I don't think
know if
it's,
you can search by
Okay,
restroom.
then
It's gotta be-
first-
I just contact them and see if they are on Sourcewell.
If you know what the suppliers are, then I can look on Sourcewell and see if they are registered with Sourcewell for their products.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
okay. Trent, I had a question for you and Dwayne. You know, you just had those, that company come in and they built the apartments over by where my daughter lives. I don't know what street that is. And that whole building is done in brick. So why can't we get somebody like that to lay brick? Wouldn't that be cheaper than, is that not possible? They come in and
To build
a bathroom?
Anybody lay brick.
I mean,
I don't know that company, I mean, there's all kinds of bricklayers, but I don't know what
I tried.
gaining.
I tried to find block layers before I got to concrete. You just couldn't find any block layers anywhere around here. I mean, it's like a lost.
But I wouldn't lay brick. I wouldn't go to that expense. I would just use this brick panels
Yes,
that I put on my house, and many people put on their house.
yes.
That's gonna protect it. It's gonna keep it from vandalism, just like brick would, and yeah.
I mean, that's just an idea for you, Ed. You know, you get the brick and I saw it at your store because I wanted, and it is actually concrete.
Concrete looks like brick or block.
Yeah,
whatever
I
it
mean,
look like.
And it wasn't that expensive either. And I thought,
Bathroom, it wouldn't be that big a deal.
yeah, if he built the shower.
Anybody can apply it. I mean, I figured out how to do it in my own house, and I'd never done it before, so anybody.
Right, I mean, that's just an option for you versus maybe you could get with the builder and say, hey, build me a bathroom and this is what I want on the outside, and Trent has.
Thing you have to do though, I mean, we were looking at that out at the trail crossing out by the golf course in that spot. And we worked with Gary Madlam. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna get anything done less than $70,000. And it makes no sense to me whatsoever. Construction's like 30, 35. I don't understand where the extra expense is in engineering and so forth. But bottom line, it looks like it's gonna be about $70,000 whether you build it or buy a pre-made. It seems very similar in price.
Okay.
I haven't researched it too much, but I know Rick did. Trail guys looked at it. But by the time you hook into your septic and your water system and make it, it's gonna follow all these codes because of the public bathroom. It's stupid, the expense. And that was a unisex bathroom, very simple bathroom, like what you want to do.
Right.
So it'd be nice if we look at that, if you find something, if we look at working with the trail guys on getting two, because I think we're talking very similar things.
I think so too. You
Yeah.
might show that Adam, and then I don't know if you guys are even interested.
I don't understand why we can't get the specs on the ADA part of it and just have somebody build it, put
Yeah,
the
you just go up to the courthouse and.
skin on it, or I guess we call it the panels.
Yeah. And
Let's research that a little bit and see. We have to work with Gary Madlam on this if we're gonna have it built.
Yeah.
We gotta make sure it's meets
that
code.
would go a lot faster than ordering the concrete and all this. That was just an idea. I was laying in bed there and I thought, I can't we just put brick on the outside of it? Just build a frame and hire a plumber and pour a concrete floor.
But it's gonna be, yours like this one would be shut down in the winter time. It'd be winter.
Yeah. Get the simple faucets and nothing. No heat in it, no air.
What's concrete blocks going for?
I don't know what blocks are, but these panels, they screw on with stainless screws, you know, and it's aluminum backing. Most of them are aluminum backing, but it's, I don't know what concrete block.
I could,
Probably $1.50.
first off, I'm gonna hit these two guys first. And then I'm gonna go from there
Then that's what we should do. Look, see if you can get a contract.
and stuff like that.
That's the thing. If you can find a contractor that can build a couple of them, then have them work with Gary on, okay, how do we need to build it? What's it need to be? And then go from there.
I called Rick and said to him, why don't you just
Is there
put
any contractor around here that you know of that's?
I call Brandon. I can't make recommendations from my seat. Call, I go.
Give it to Beth. See?
You know, it depends on, I would call over there and say, you know, cause they know more about their availability and who they'd recommend.
Okay.
I wonder if Amish people.
Maybe, but you know, if they're building houses, they're knocking out big bucks quick versus a little tiny
They're not gonna
bathroom.
mess.
You need a small time local contractor willing to do it.
Okay, all right, it was just a thought, so I might look around, ask around for that at the trail, and then you might ask for price for two.
We need to get in here to work with Landon and, Dwayne about where they gotta do the grading for the park. You know, for playground equipment, where you're gonna put it.
I think it's
So that needs to be lined up and done.
But we gotta figure out what we're getting first, so we know what we're, so what I started to tell you.
Official vote
Or,
on JC.
yes, we did twice,
Okay.
okay.
Be
So-
sure that you got, or is it something that you looked at or
No,
saw or what?
this is what I did. I went through the book and I saw that and I liked it. And so I also brought that's it right there. So you guys have this book at home. Okay, so I was just looking at, I'm not picking anything out. I just was thinking, okay, I am gonna pick something out and then ask him to start giving me prices. And then there was, this right here that I wanted you to see, that right there. And Ed went on that. And it was really a lot of fun. So what he did was, I just named off a few things that that I enjoyed when we went to Kokomo. And so the Gaga ball, that is an octangular structure, and and the kids get inside of it and they have a ball and they can only hit the ball with their hands instead of their feet. So he has offered to just sell us the metal and we buy the wood and then Landon can build it. So that was one of the things. And then the billows, that is the slide, the little playground that I showed you that I really liked a lot. So I had him also get us a price on. Let me find it here. Where's my prices?
No, I would say the Gaga ball pit, I would save that for a bigger park. Because this is JC Park and I don't think we have room for the.
You need to go look at JC again. I looked at it today and I thought, it's big. It's bigger than what you think. And the nice thing about it is, we don't have to have any kind of special protection around it. It would just be inside of it, and he has what he told us that day. He has what? Yes, okay. So the Omni spin, that thing that you want to add, that's called the Zip Cruise. And so he gave it to me in the place, 34 feet is 14,000 down to the big one. I think at that part, that would be really that there. The Eclipse Climber, you guys know what that is. That's the one with the strings. You can look them up in your books at home. You can look them up on the internet. So that could be over here, and then the Omni spin, you remember that? That was just a thing that they all sat in and you just pushed them. So he just gave me some different prices and stuff, and that would pretty well kind of take care of that part. And then a swing set, and we have, how that goes is however tall our poles are and however far out it goes, then we have to go out twice that much. So let's go to shorter swing sets. So we only have to do the mulch around it and it'd be half as much and whatever. So what he said to me was they're getting really booked up. And so I thought, okay, we got to start somewhere. And this playground, actually, there is one in Kokomo. If somebody wants to drive there and look at it. I'm not saying I want this one. I just thought, okay, we got to kind of start somewhere. He is going to the show next week. And then he won't get back because he will have all new books. So do we want to wait until February's meeting and have him come and show us and try and make a decision? Or do you want me to call a meeting as soon as he gets back so we can start working on this some more? Because
Yeah, we need to go out there and do, I mean, in my opinion, some site, I don't know, kind of a footprint plan.
Does
Right.
everybody get a free day off on the weekend, like a Saturday or Sunday?
No.
okay, the other thing,
Can we get all of us together on a Saturday or Sunday? And I will drive us down to Kokomo and we will turn all the parks.
But they've already done some of that.
Not all of us do.
No,
no,
I personally don't feel like I need to go. But if you wanna look at the stuff.
No, we only think we got the books. But you know, here we keep going over the same, I like this, I like that, we need to get consensus of what we want and get it ordered.
exactly. That's why Mitch said I just picked something out. I'm not saying to order this, just to kind of give us an idea of how much that would cost, which I would love to have the turf under that only. And then the other toys could be over here and they could have the mulch, which would make it a lot cheaper. But we have to start somewhere.
Do it right the first time and not be playing around with mulch and pea gravel.
Okay, well, pea gravel is definitely out. Yeah, that is the worst of
You
the
know,
worst.
Get it fixed, do it right,
Okay,
spend the money, we don't have to keep, you know,
okay,
bouncing back and forth.
right. I would be happy to go to Kokomo with you and we can meet Bryce again and tour some playgrounds if you would like to do that. We can also
We can just
see,
look at the books, but we need, the four of us
Okay.
need to get together and say, yes, I like this one, no, I don't like that one. You
okay,
know,
okay.
and we, you know,
And then the other thing,
have a special meeting and get it done.
okay, that's fine.
That was her question.
That's
A
my
special
question.
meeting or
When,
not?
when he
Have a
gets
special
back,
meeting, we go over the book.
when he gets back
That
with the
sounds
new
good.
books, we'll have a special meeting. Okay.
Do you have a plan for the sample park, you know how big it is and how much you're gonna need in there?
Okay, so that was the other thing. Thank you, because I was trying to remember what, okay. They also will do for us, Bryce and Justin, that are with Play Pros. They will do that, what do you call it? Where they,
A drone?
yeah, and satellite, whatever you want to call it.
Oh.
And so we're like, okay, we like this, and this. Then they will come in free of charge and they will say, okay, this is how we think it should lay out. This should be here. This can be here. That can be there. And this is here. Don't have to stick with that, but they have offered to come and once we pick out what we want, then they will lay it out.
Okay.
And it also doesn't mean that maybe a couple years down the road or 3 or whatever, that you can't go over here and add another thing if there's a new toy that, you know. So that's what they offered. I agree with you, Mitch. Let's have Bryce come back with his new books. Let's call a meeting. Let's sit down and let's decide and get it ordered. And then Dwayne can get started on taking out the stuff. the playground equipment.
Wayne can't do nothing until they say, this is the square footage we need. And
Well,
this
he
is-
can go in there and tear everything out right now if he wants to. There's nothing stopping him.
Well, I want to see the new books before I sit down with the guy. So I would say, let's get the new books.
Okay,
And then we could talk on email, because if we, I just want to see the new books. And I
Okay.
want to see what we want,
okay,
rather than sitting down and say, hey, here's a new book. Let's go over it right now. I want to be able to get out the fence or to JC Park. Now I know the park. I want to be able to look around
okay.
to
That's what I
draw a
was saying.
diagram myself.
That sounds
and,
great to me.
To plot it out myself, so then
Sure.
that way I personally know when I'm talking here.
Yeah.
I want my own little diagram over what's ahead of me.
I imagine the books won't be too awfully.
And you have a
different.
rubric?
I do,
Okay.
yeah, and I've.
That's what I'm
Blitzed
telling you,
through.
tell me.
Well, the bad thing about the book, though, they don't give you any dimensions.
Well,
Do they not?
are those yours?
No. You have
I
two
might have
layers.
two of them. Okay, right here it says, minimum area required 51 feet by 1 inch by 55 by 10. Maximum fall height, right here on the Volvo, which that's a room. I think it'd be nice for Manitou Mountain. It has sizes there, right here, the toddler swings, there's all your sizes. I can give you Bryce's number anytime that you want to call him and ask him something. He's just like
He's
right
really
there.
good.
He'll help you with it if you have a question. I think that's great. I think by next month, February, by the end of the month. Or I'm sorry, by the end of January, hopefully we have it figured out, ordered, and then Dwayne and Landon. Can.
End of February.
In January, he's going next week. We have them, I'll have him drive the books to us. I will get them to you and then let's call a meeting and sit down and figure it out.
48 hours.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I know you guys are really excited and I also wanted to personally thank you, Ed, because you did an exceptional job on lighting up the park. I knew I see that in your lot, you and Tammy's. And you guys did great.
I tell you what, I think everybody came together, and the thing that impressed me the most is there was no egos in the way. I mean, everybody, and I sent out an email, it was like everybody just did their, got there and just seen what needed to be done and just kind of went with it. And nobody was like, well, this needed to be done, everybody just seen what needed to be done and just kind
Yeah,
of
it was
went
fun.
with
I
it.
enjoyed it.
It was
I
fun.
enjoyed it a lot,
Yeah.
so.
Next year, now that we have stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've
You know?
really got
Yeah.
Dwayne that saw.
Everybody's like, you guys should have started earlier. I'm like, we didn't have anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you seen all we had earlier was like 2 boxes.
and thank you, Bess, for coming tonight. I appreciate it.
Landon, what did you do with that candy, the leftover candy?
He ate it all.
You didn't put it in is it in?
It's in his place.
This.
Okay,
It's in the
hey
bag.
Beth, real quick, I'm gonna order this stuff with Christmas Land. And he has our tax exempt number and that, should I have him call you directly? The credit card, I don't have. So I will have him call you.
Yeah.
And then it's just the city hall number.
It's just easier using the credit card than you get waiting for a check for that.
Right. No, I agree.
I'm serious.
No, did you get one?
And then do we need our signatures here somewhere?
I did this too. You guys are supposed to sign it. So I filled out all
Okay,
so I didn't know if you wanted to
okay,
give that to me
okay.
from the invoice.
Thank you.
Beth, what were we
Okay,
supposed to sign
I'm
here?
gonna-
Were we supposed to sign anything?
Yeah, it's right here.
Interest and nepotism.
Yeah.
And then this.
I have to do this. I know, that's what I'm getting ready to do. Somebody.
Leaving now.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn,
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
All right.
right?
That's the part I didn't know. Somewhere here, we're
I have to
supposed to
make
sign
sure
this.
that I have this. She told me that we have. And
Now hit that
Hit the red spot.
I did.
Yeah, now hit the top end